This is
Zac and Rita,
the podcast.
Oh my god, that is the kind of enthusiastic opener that we are all about on this show. One thing about this show, we would never have an unenthusiastic opener.
I thought you were going to go podcast. I was about to say, well, we have a fair few unenthusiastic podcasts. But not today, because Dane, thankfully, has decided that he's going to... My microphone's not on.
Is that an issue worthy of restarting the episode?
No, I reckon. If you heard me, I was like, why can't I hear myself from the speaker? And that's why we have the speaker there. Anyways, I hope you could hear that.
Why did you point at all that shit like it wasn't there last week?
Well, I don't know. It's the first episode where it's just me and you. Welcome everyone. I hope you heard me talking about how I love an enthusiastic start. Maybe it was just Rita.
I don't know why, but whenever we start a podcast episode, I suddenly feel like my breathing capacity gets reduced by like 50%.
That's literally been me since I got my vaccine shot.
Did you what?
Got the vaccine.
That's
No, I'm getting better. I'm getting better.
No, I don't think. No, I think I've always been like that. But
It is weird though.
it's just an effect of being on camera, because it wouldn't make sense that it's like doesn't happen when you're not on camera, but the moment you're on camera, you like suddenly feel like you can't breathe. I think it's just an effect of being nervous about the fact that you're on camera.
But see, I don't understand why we would be nervous. We have done this so often.
I think like it's not like obviously clearly we can talk to a camera. We're clearly not shitting ourselves right now, but I feel like some part of like staring into a lens and
with a little
talking-
tiny screen to the right that has us in minuscule view, and I'm always looking to see, are we on center or not?
It's always going to be a bit weird.
It is. Until we've got someone else doing it for us and we don't have to watch ourselves.
Yeah, I feel like seeing us and like there's always that thing when you've got a camera and you're looking at the viewfinder, you have to try really hard to look at the lens instead of the viewfinder.
Exactly. And I think it's that far away.
Look, it probably doesn't make all too much of a difference.
But I reckon... Anyway, that's what goes through our heads when we press play.
Yes, you just got a journey into our minds.
Not very intellectual, but...
A very shallow journey into the first layer of our
I was
mind.
going to say a very shallow journey into the entirety of our minds.
Okay, yeah.
Rita, this did happen a couple of weeks ago, but by fucking God, did I get the shock of my life when I was at Flinders Street Station the other day.
Wait, is this what I think it's going to be?
What do you think it's going to be?
Well, I see the word toilet written on the whiteboard, and I've personally had a very shocking toilet-related thing happen at Flinders Street, but it was quite a long time ago. And also, I think you already would have been aware of it. So tell me your thing.
What happened to you at Flinders Street Station in the
Well,
toilet?
no, I don't want to say my thing.
I doubt. This is so obscure.
Yeah,
but I
okay,
really hope this
no.
hasn't happened to you.
No, okay, well, in that case, it's definitely not the same thing. I just got the general shock that I think everyone has gotten when you walk into that Exelou outside Flinders Street Station. It is the most disgusting place, not just toilet, but place I think I've ever stepped foot in.
I'm not talking about the Exelou. I'm talking about the actual toilet.
Like, I'm talking a 3-inch layer of piss on the ground.
What the actual fuck? Why? How did you know to measure it?
Yeah, I had a measuring tape in my pocket, and I just got down and I was like, yeah, that's about 3 inches.
I was implying you whipped out your dick, and you're like, same.
Whipped out my dick, stuck it in a pile of piss. Yeah, just the casual thing you do when you walk into the most disgusting toilet you've ever seen. You're like, I am going
to check if it's actually the same size as my dick.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. No, you won't believe it, but I did not stick my dick into a pile of
I didn't stick my dick in a pile of piss. I never thought I would be saying that specific sentence.
I thought you did.
Okay, what's your thing, Zach? What shocked you?
Oh, it fucking shocked me. So, we have discussed piss culture before on the podcast, and I'm just going to quickly make sure that we're recording.
We are recording, guys.
Great. That's a great. So imagine if I had my mic off, we weren't recording.
That would have fucked us over because this has been a good start to the episode.
Exactly. We would have just recorded it. Like, we would have just put on the audio. Because, you guys wouldn't have been able to make a TikTok out of the fact that you stick your penis in piss. Anyways, Rita, I was trying to say before I interrupted myself.
Yeah. Sorry, I've got piss on my dick. Can I go dry it off?
Yes. You said it happened a couple of years ago. Have you not cleaned yourself?
Yeah, no. I actually do it every day. Specifically, I do it just before I come to record this podcast.
You go to Flinders Street. That's why you were a tiny little bit late. You had to go, oh, fuck, I forgot to plan to stick my dick in some piss.
Yeah, this was all planned. This was all, I meant to bring this up. I just didn't write it down because I wanted it to seem more natural.
Forgotten to write it down 3 straight years.
And I was planning on me telling this story and you assuming that I would have stuck my dick in the piss. Because you just know me so well.
Oh, well, I know you, and I know that your first thought when you see a 3-inch pile of piss on the ground is to go, my dick's 3 inches. I wonder. So I'm really ramming home this small dick energy vibes.
If it was 2 inches, no, that's a bit too small. If it was 4 inches, no, way too big.
Because then your dick wouldn't be touching the ground. And then you've lost some sense of stability.
Why am I just rolling with this?
I don't know. It's better than fighting me on it. Okay, Rita. I went to the Flinders Street station and there was not a pile of piss on the ground. And I did not stick my dick in the non-existent pile of piss.
Well, your dick's way too big to stick in a 3-inch pile of piss.
You know my dick. There's something so graphic about this chat that I just want to move on, but it's so funny.
Are other people going to find this funny? I feel like it is. It is quite. I think it's hilarious, but I think it's also quite disgusting.
I don't think... I think the people that listen to the podcast know what they're in for.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Anyways, what I saw wasn't quite as disgusting as what it would have been if I saw someone measuring the amount of piss on the floor with their penis.
Yeah. What did you see?
Okay, so late night, about 9:30, not too late. I walked
Never
in.
a time you want to be in the toilets at Flinders Street Station.
I don't think there is a time that you want to be in the toilet.
No, that's really not.
Flinders Street Station, for people that are not in Melbourne, it's the main hub of all stations.
Think Sydney Central Station, but way grosser.
And the toilets, they look like they're cleaned by like the 12-year-old that's just about to knock off work. And it's like, I'm going to come in here with a spray and a bottle and I'm just going to wipe half of it, maybe.
Yeah, that's the one thing I'll give Sydney over Melbourne. They actually seem to give a shit about their infrastructure.
See, I've never been to Sydney Central Station, so I don't really...
It's so pretty, but Sydney's a shithole, but their station is so pretty.
Oh, do you want to fucking go on about calling places a shithole, cunt?
Okay, well, we'll touch about that later, but Sydney, objectively a shithole. I'm never going to stop.
Everyone's a shithole to read. Watch out. Okay, we need a fucking... So, I walk in, and it's Flinders Street Station toilets. They're a shithole. I don't give a fuck.
Oh, you're going to insult all the people who live there, Zach.
Oh, no. The 12s on TikTok are coming. Oh, it's not going to make sense for another 30 minutes, and we're so sorry. But we've got to get through this. Otherwise, it'll never make sense. Okay, so I went to the urinal because I feel like out of all places in Flinders Street Station, you don't want to go into a cubicle. You want to stay outside of the cubicle.
I always go in the cubicle.
No, I just can't.
I always go in the cubicle. Even if I'm going to piss, I go in the cubicle.
Oh, yeah. But like, nah. For everywhere else, I'll go in the cubicle. But the toilets are that disgusting at Flinders Street that I have to take the urinal.
Wait, which side are you talking about? Are you talking about the side that exits onto Elizabeth or the side that exits onto Swanston? Because on the Swanston side, the toilets are fucking disgusting. They're actually, I only ever go to the ones...
Swanston.
I only ever go to the Elizabeth side because they're way cleaner.
I don't even know the... Anyways, I'm walking into the shitty ones.
Yeah.
So, I do my piss at the urinals, but as I'm walking past, some dude drops his pants at a urinal, drops his pants, drops his underwear. His butt is visible at the urinal, and he is pissing. What? We had the discussion about what men do with their pants when they're sitting down. I didn't realize people were pulling their pants all the way down.
When you are sitting on the toilet, it is acceptable to... Look, I reckon if you're sitting on the toilet, it's acceptable to even take your pants fully off. I mean, if you were in a public toilet, that'd be pretty weird, but no one can see you.
Exactly. If you can't be seen, go for it. We're going to judge you, but really go for it.
I mean, as we've discussed on an episode ages ago,
Multiple.
Zach walked into the fucking
Oh,
toilets
yeah, right.
once and there was someone having a wank.
And we judged you, but you're in. I didn't have
Well,
to see
it
the
wasn't
penis.
really in private. They should have realized that their shadow could be seen. That is still violating people who walk in there.
Yes, but on the bright side, I found it funny enough to record it, so I wasn't really violated.
It would be violating them if it was in any other situation.
Yeah. But they didn't. See, that's the weird thing. They were wanking. I knew they were wanking. They didn't know I was I knew they were wanking. I wasn't wanking to the shadow of them. Anyways.
Zach just sees a penis shadow. He just,
Oh! Can't believe someone else is getting it on and not me. Anyways. I was really disgusted by a bare bottom in Flinders Street.
Oh, I would have been disgusted too. Who the fuck does that?
It's like... when you're in public...
And if you're going to do that, go into the fucking cubicle.
Exactly. There were cubicles available. I just chose to go to the urinal.
So he didn't like just pull his pants down past his ass. They were like all the way down.
They were at his ankles.
That's
Not his pants, his underwear. Both of them were down.
That's disgusting enough anyway because that's fucking sitting on the fucking urinal grill. That's like...
Exactly. They would have been overhanging onto the... And some people piss from the floor, not the urinal grill. So
there
piss.
is so much piss on those fucking slat things.
Exactly. So he would have came off with piss pants. And
There's
that
so much wrong with this.
is the disgusting encounter that I had at Flinders Street Station.
Well, thank you for sharing.
Not a problem, Rita.
Okay, so...
From
okay.
we're not getting any better for now.
So I'm going on to how I use my 3-inch penis. I pretty much went to an orgy.
yes, you. I'm so excited. So you need to get away with. You need to firstly say what you told me. Do you remember what you told me?
You remind me what I specifically told
So
you.
before your night out started, you called.
So this was like 2 weeks ago, by the way. I was going to tell the story on the podcast last week, but we had Dane on.
Dane rudely came on the podcast.
I mean, I could have told it, but I wanted to give Dane the spotlight.
It was Dane's chance to finally have a talk. And thanks to Dane for coming on. We actually really enjoyed that.
Yeah, it was a
And-
good episode, and it's gotten some really good feedback. Honestly, the one episode that all of my friends who usually never listen to the podcast listened to that episode and came up to me and told me how much they enjoyed it.
It was reflective in the stats because I don't have friends, but I look at the stats. That's a joke. I have friends. If my friends are listening, love you. But yeah, the stats, you could tell that a lot of people really enjoyed having Dane on. So thanks, Dane, for coming on. But you called me a couple of weeks ago. It was about 8, 9 o'clock. And you were like, Zach, I'm going to a naked clubbing experience.
Wait, yeah. Oh, didn't I call you just before I went?
Yes.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's what you meant by before. So you haven't heard anything.
I've got no clue what happened. All I know was you were going, and we had this conversation. What do you wear? Where do you put your phone? And you were like,
I'll tell you the answer. You don't wear anything. Well, you wear something to the door. I literally, okay, no, I'm just going to tell the whole story.
go for it.
So this is like a couple weeks ago. It was on a Thursday, so work night.
Lovely. Because when better to go to an orgy?
So I get a call from my friend literally being like, hey, do you want to come to the naked party? And I was so confused. I had no details, but I was pretty much like, well, it's not. I assumed from naked party that it was a party where everyone was naked. And I'm like,
I'm glad that you use such a
I have
shallow
such
brain.
a level. I have such a crazy level of insight, Zach. It's insane. But I was like,
Naked party. Fuck. What do I wear?
but I was pretty much my birthday suit. But I was pretty much like, this isn't something you get offered that often. So
Or at all, really.
So I'm gonna fucking do this. So I got really drunk, and we show up to this naked party, and I show up in an hoodie.
Yeah, that's the last I heard from you. You were rocking up in an hoodie.
Because that's like that. It makes sense to rock up to a naked party in something that you would wear around the house naked in.
So that's the thing. What do you wear to a naked party? And this is the discussion we were having on the phone. Because you can't rock up nude, because how do you get there nude?
See, this is the interesting thing. Okay, so I'm just going to get straight into
Yeah.
it. So this is how a naked party works.
Please
For those
inform
wondering,
me.
because I was so confused before I rocked up how it was going to work when we got in there. So I
Yeah.
walk in wearing my hoodie. You go, they've got this cloaking area where they keep all your clothes and personal items. Everyone in the cloaking area also naked. The staff are like naked.
Oh my God. So everyone's
Well,
naked.
the people running the event are naked.
Were they allowed to have sex? Or they...
I would assume so. I know. I think the people who were like actually working behind there weren't.
But the people were the people working there?
Actually, no. Actually, I could speak on whether the people behind there were allowed to have sex or not.
Okay.
Because the story leads into that.
I'm very excited to hear.
So I take all my clothes off and we go upstairs and I'm like, oh fuck. You can't bring...
Ew.
Sorry.
Disgusting.
Massive apologies.
I'm actually going to do my best to go into the audio and find that. Where was that? 15 minutes. I need to try and... That was disgusting. Like, we've had burps, we've had farts, but that was disgusting.
I'm sorry. Anyway, we go upstairs and then you realize, oh, I don't have any clothes on, which means I don't have a car. You don't have your card. You're not allowed. You can't bring a phone in.
Yeah, that makes sense. But you shouldn't be able to take photo of people nude.
No, yeah. But I was like, oh, I don't have money. So I'm talking, my mate knows the guy who's like running this event. And so I'm like talking to them. I'm like, oh, I don't have like a card to pay for shit at the bar. And then he just goes to the bar, grabs me 2 VBs and gives them to me.
How?
Because he was running the event.
Oh. Like, would I be able to wear... Not that I'm planning to go to a naked orgy, or an orgy for that fact, but would you be able to wear a smartwatch?
Oh, yeah, that's how a lot of people were paying it.
Yeah.
People either had, like, smartwatches or they had, like, satchels with... I saw one guy with cash in his sock.
I would have just taped my card to, like, my wrist and gone, whoop.
So
I
at
did
this
that.
point, I'm, like, so uncomfortable.
Yeah, understandably.
And so I'm like, oh, I want to go for a smoke. And...
Did you go for a nude smoke?
Yeah.
Was that... How often... Surely you don't smoke nude often.
No, but it's an interesting experience. Okay, but what led to me wanting to go for a smoke? This is an extremely intimidating environment to be in when I was basically sober at this point. I mean, I was well on my way to not being sober, but I was still sober at this point.
Yeah.
And so I'm standing in a very dark room full of naked guys. I'm having guys like come up to me and hit on me straight away. And I'm like looking on the stage. They've got like this DJ, like this really well-known DJ on the stage. And I found it like the funniest thing. I look over at the stage and next to the DJ on the stage is this guy just getting his ass eaten.
What the fuck?
Just literally on the stage next to the DJ, a guy is eating out another guy's asshole.
What the fuck? I don't even know how to react to that. What the fuck?
And
I was prepared for you to like just say, he's got his ass out. And I was like, yep, understandable, nude party. Not, he's getting his ass eaten.
Oh, yeah, and there's people like fucking all around. And I look at that.
I could never.
I look at that and I'm like, I need a fucking cigarette.
Yeah, I can understand that completely. That would have been such a intimidating...
I mean, I the whole time before we got in there, I was like questioning, is this more naked party, but we happen to be naked, or fucking and it happens to sort of be a party?
Yeah. Because I guess if you're doing one or the other, like if you're doing the one at the wrong, like if you're partying at a place that's meant to be fucking, you're standing out because you look like an idiot. If you're fucking at a place that's meant to be partying,
Yeah.
you're standing out because you look like an idiot.
And look, I'm not exaggerating by when I use the word orgy to describe this thing. I went in thinking it was a naked party. It was an orgy, which so I went out to the smokers area.
Yeah.
And do you know what I saw when I got out to the smokers area? Very small enclosed smokers area.
Oh, no,
there was not one person in there smoking a cigarette.
Oh no. People were fucking in the smokers area.
People were fucking in the smokers area.
Of all places to fuck. That's disgusting.
So I go out there and I start having a fucking smoke and there's just people all around me. And
Oh no.
look, I feel like I don't need to go into much more detail about what happened in the smokers area. You could probably
We can all allude to what happened.
Yeah. So anyway, I was in there for a while doing such and such.
We can allude, and then you said what happened.
No, I didn't. I said such and such. Yeah.
I mean, we don't have a ban on.
I was just chain smoking more. Yeah, I feel like people don't want to hear about me having sex though.
Oh yeah, but now it's absolutely definite. There could have been some people going, "Oh, maybe Rita was having a lot of smokes," but now it's very obvious.
No, I didn't. Look,
I mean, I guess if we're talking about you going to an orgy, it is kind of implied that you are participating in
yes,
the orgy.
I got my dick sucked in the smokers area. Okay.
That's too much now.
You can bleep that out.
I'm not leaving that out. Who gives a fuck? I think if we would have lost people at you sticking your dick in piss and we kept going back to you sticking dick. If there's anyone still here, they can not complain about having to hear that you got your dick sucked.
Okay, so where does an orgy go after that?
That's very good. What, wait, more sex?
No, look, the thing is, we got there, we arrived fashionably late.
Yeah, you continue talking. I just realized I didn't turn one of the lights on.
We arrived fashionably like 1 hour before it ended.
That's not fashionably late. That's late.
That's immensely late. And so we were we were leaving. We left like not long after we arrived. Like I was there for probably an hour, and then we were leaving, and we went to the cloaking area to get our bags back.
Yeah.
And no, someone like fucking. So someone like beckoned me into the cloaking area, and I went around the corner, and they had like a couch. And things happened,
Yeah.
including with the staff.
Oh, okay. Well, at least the staff, because it would have been very uncomfortable. I don't know. How do you organize that with staff? Like, it's just a lot.
It was. I don't know. It was fucking weird. I feel like there's no set rules when it comes to having an orgy in what is essentially
An organized orgy.
It's essentially usually a public place.
Yeah.
There's a bar where you can buy drinks. It's fucking weird.
Yeah, I can understand.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, no, that's about it. There's not really that much more to say.
I think you've done it justice. You have.
Yeah. Anything more will be going into way too much detail.
And I feel like there is an appropriate time to stop.
But
and it could be now.
Just so you guys know, there are organized orgies. They happen. I don't know. Should I shout out the name of the event?
I would say no.
Okay.
Well, because I know, like, I'm not as sort of experienced as a party animal or an orgy goer.
To be fair, I wouldn't want people to know the specific naked party that I might be going back to in the future.
Yeah, I reckon we don't need it.
I'm sure if you look hard enough, you will be able to find naked parties to attend.
And I give all the fans a challenge. If you can suck Rita's dick, I will send you $5.
That should not be a challenge you're giving to our fans, Zach.
I'm just going to lose $5. I take that back. Okay, we're going to take a quick break because the next thing we're going to talk about is definitely going to go over how long we've got on the camera. See you guys after this.
All right, yeah. On from being intensely sexual,
and now to pissing off a large amount of people on TikTok. So okay.
By the way, guys, this is what we're leading on to from what we said earlier, where Zach was making a joke about how I said Sydney.
They can figure it out.
When I said Sydney was a shithole.
So I'll explain. If you are a casual podcast listener and you've never even looked at our social medias, go follow them. We watch through them and we make clips and we make TikToks. And if they're funny enough, we'll put a TikTok online.
Basically,
I've got the TikTok audio to
let's
play.
just play the clip.
This is the clip.
The Sunbury line has 3 Footscrays. I would like to say that that's pretty shit.
I feel like anything. Oh, now this is gonna probably piss some people off. I feel like anything that goes to the western suburbs is just shit. Because the western suburbs are just shit.
Well, people didn't like that.
Look, I literally said, as a preface, I said this is probably going to piss a lot of people off. I didn't know you were going to fucking clip it.
Oh, well, I take everything that you said on the podcast as clippable.
Obviously, if I...
So it's my
No,
fault
I'm not saying
you're
it's
pissed
your
off.
fault, but I am just saying, obviously, if I shit talk like a third of a city where there's like fucking probably like 1 million or 2 people, I'm gonna piss some people off if you post it on a public platform.
Okay, no, but I feel like There were people in the comments that were justifying it, saying they lived in that side of the town and they thought it was justified. But what?
So there were people backing me up.
A minimal amount of people. One of them was my brother Max mocking that. However, I would just like to say, we weren't explicitly going out of our way as a topic to go, hey guys, by the way, we're boring.
I just want to say, before I read through these comments,
I've got all the comments and I'm going to hand my phone to Rita and Rita's going to go through them all.
before I read through and respond to these comments, I want to say I wasn't insulting people who live in the western suburbs. I was specifically insulting the western suburbs because I've lived there multiple times, which is why I have the right to say I think it's shit.
But also,
I've shit-talked a lot of places I lived.
and I understand that we didn't put context in that TikTok clip, but if you look at the context, we shit-talked every other part of Melbourne in the podcast. We had to find something bad about them because we were putting them in a list. And we weren't at a stage yet to go, well, they're so good, let's place them 10th.
And look, I've lived in a lot of places. I have a lot of opinions about places that I've lived. Western suburbs, not the only shit place I've lived. It's just pretty up there.
I would like to say, if you look hard enough, there's not a place that has solely good shit about it.
No, but the western suburbs, pretty shit.
Pretty shit. But they're not the only shit place. Okay. Anyways,
Look, maybe I should justify it. Maybe I should go over some before I read through this. I should just go over some of my reasoning.
go for it.
I'm pretty much talking about some very specific areas because I've only really lived in like the Werribee or like aircraft area.
And
But
Footscray.
I wouldn't count Footscray as the western suburbs. It's so close to the city.
A lot of people in the TikToks.
Well, I was
in the comments. Sorry, we're taking your word because at the start of the clip, I mentioned Footscray Station. People were taking that as, oh, Rita hates the western suburbs. Rita hates Footscray.
See, you fucked me over there because I literally live in Footscray and it's my favorite place I've ever lived. So can you clip this?
Yeah.
Oh my god, Footscray, so fucking good. If you consider Footscray the part of the western suburbs, then it is the one part of the western suburbs that's good, but the rest is shit.
Okay, so for a bit of knowledge, we have been posting TikToks since we started filming the video. Do you reckon I'm allowed to say how shit the TikToks don't go shit, but none of them have really taken off.
This is like our most popular TikTok ever, and it's because
For context, all of the TikToks we've posted this season, they've all gotten around 200 views. You've got to do something special on TikTok, and we're trying to find that special.
controversy clearly creates views, brings in people, because people are going to share it and be like, hey, look at what this fuckwit said.
At the time of recording, we have just under 15,000 views on the video. I woke up and there were 20 likes on that video. And I was like, why the fuck are there 20 likes on our TikTok? What the fuck have we done? I go in the comments.
Just give it to me.
Okie dokie. You've got to read. Do you want me to read them and you to react?
Yep, sure.
Now, this is my favorite one.
This is going to be so soul-crushing for me. It's just people fucking insulting me pretty much.
Some of them are insulting me. Most of them, insulting Rita. We'll start off with, I'm not going to name the user. Just say you went to a private school and have been spoon-fed your whole life.
Okay.
Now let's, we won't go into full depth, but Rita, tell me about your schooling experience.
So I was fucking homeschooled until high school, then went to a very much public school and
In Geelong, which is a shithole.
in Geelong, dropped out multiple times, and also, my parents are not rich.
Not only that, but you've practically, and your parents.
I've spent most of my life below.
I was going to say you've spent most of your developed life living independently, which is
On Centrelink. I am literally like in the same fucking category as probably most of the people who got pissed off by what I said.
I reckon some of them lower. Like you're in a lower.
Yeah.
Because, anyways, the one reply to this comment, didn't you go to a private school, lol? Seems a bit rich. Someone got owned by a random on TikTok. Yeah. Now, some of them, I think, are taking both of us. I'm not sure comedy podcasting is for you at this point in time. Keep trying. For context, at the bottom of each clip, I put a few hashtags. One of them, hashtag comedy. He's not wrong, but he's also not funny about it either. So, and then someone replied, no babes, he, she wrong and not funny. And then that person replied, you say that, yet Derrimut exists.
It wasn't intended to be funny. Like, in the context of the clip, it was a backup episode.
Exactly.
I was literally just saying my opinion on Werribee. I wasn't trying to, not where. Okay, now I've sounded like I'm fucking specifically.
Guys,
talking
if
about
you're
Werribee.
wondering what the Western suburbs are, Werribee, apparently, according to Rita, and I did not say this, Werribee is a shithole.
Look, I was literally just insulting the western suburbs. I wasn't trying to be funny.
Yeah, no. And you can tell because
We were ranking train lines. It was a very serious topic.
and it's still very serious for us, but the clip doesn't have us laughing.
No.
It's just a comment.
Which means maybe you shouldn't have put the hashtag comedy on it. That is a fair.
We are a comedy podcast. I have to. One of the worst takes I've ever heard.
See,
That's from Generic Ho, by the way.
generic. Well, generic ho. How about tell us why you think that? Like, look, fair enough. You can say I'm wrong, but if you're not going to give a single fucking reason, then you can't. We're on the same fucking level. To be fair, I didn't give a reason why I thought it was shit, but you're not giving a reason why you think it's not.
Moving on. I think this is our favourite comment so far. You can tell this guy hasn't taken a step out of Brunswick and was raised by his vegan parents. 77 likes.
What's the name of the username for that person?
When did we ask?
When did we ask? I've probably lived in more places than you've lived in your fucking life in the last year.
But none of them have been Brunswick.
None of them have been Brunswick. I've lived in the western suburbs multiple times in the last 2 years, and it's a shithole.
Also, what point does vegan parents have to do with this? If anything, you would imagine a vegan hippie would love the western suburbs.
No, a vegan.
Not
they would
love, but like wouldn't be rude enough to shit talk it on a comedy podcast.
Yeah, but I guess the Brunswick part is like, yeah.
The Brunswick part justified. Everything else, not really.
Well, it's not justified because
Yeah.
I've never lived in Brunswick.
Your mum's favorite 69,420 says, "Fuck, that's mad, bro. Funny, mad, funny, bro. Tell me more."
Okay, so people are just
Insulting you, and that's what we're going through.
no. Well, yeah, but they're also insulting. I think they're mainly insulting the fact that you put the comedy hashtag on, and it's clearly not comedy.
Didn't know smashed crabs could talk. I don't understand that. That's one of the comments. I only got one like, but I thought it was funny.
Okay.
The first part of this person's comment actually is kind of relevant. It's talking about how good Footscray is. But the end of it, these two white men think they're doing something.
Look, fair enough.
We do think we are doing something, but we know we're doing something. We're doing a podcast.
Yes.
We don't think we're being funny in that clip.
But by being two white people with a podcast.
We are, and this comes into the next one. The real pandemic is mediocre men thinking they're interesting enough to make podcasts.
Yeah. No,
you know what?
Absolutely.
I cop that.
I'll take that. I will absolutely take that.
In justification, I don't think we think we're that interesting.
No.
We just wanted something to do,
Yeah.
and we're doing it. Tell me you've never visited the West without telling me you've never visited the West. Rita? Come on, tell us.
Look, as
Tell
I
us.
keep going over, been there multiple times, that's why. Look, I don't understand these comments because why do you think I would have any opinion on the place if I hadn't lived there?
That's the thing. I think they're just looking at it and with absolutely no context of who you are as a human being, understandably.
I'm not the kind of person to shit talk somewhere I've never been or something I've never done or anything like that. I was shit talking the western suburbs from a place of love.
Hashtag comedy is doing a lot of heavy lifting for this bloke. And that's my fault for putting hashtag comedy, but I'm sorry. I don't understand this comment, but it is there. This is like a parody of two private school kids having a podcast. Are we pretending to be private
Well,
kids?
maybe we are parodying that because we're not private school kids.
Hey. Yeah, except we're not. Yeah, this is an L take, said Kingsley.
I want to know. Hit the podcast up. Do we act like private school kids?
No,
We literally have a segment called Bad Financial Decisions, which is about how I regularly get broke to the point where I can't afford fucking food.
but you are wasting money, and maybe that's what private school kids do. It's very hard because we're not private school kids, and we very much lived a life
No, we haven't lived a shit life, but we've lived a life in Geelong.
I feel like they're calling us private school kids because I think it's a very private school kid thing to have like a bad take that's not backed up by anything because like you've grown up privileged. But that's not us.
Exactly.
Then the comments, they turned personal, Rita.
I'm aware.
And I know this is a bit sensitive, but I am going to go here. About as shit as your haircut and receding hairline. And then people said, not the hairline, violation.
Wait, who said that?
A good 322. But B Fletcher said, about as shit as your haircut and receding hairline. Look at B Fletcher. He doesn't have a photo.
Yeah, B Fletcher, show us your fucking hairline before you fucking talk shit on mine. But also, was the person below that like defending me?
No, they were saying it was a violation of TikTok guidelines because you were so rude. They were so rude.
Funny. Is that actually a violation of guidelines?
No. That's what people say when they've got nothing to add, but they think it's funny. Like, it's like the equivalent of you texting me something funny and me just replying, haha.
Yeah, right.
But it's TikTok.
Yeah, no, I'll cop that one. Do have a shit hairline. Why do you think I have this fucking haircut?
But I think it's iconic. I like it. Say you're privileged and inexperienced without saying you're privileged and inexperienced.
These comments are all fucking clones of each other.
Exactly. And that's the thing about people on TikTok. They don't really understand how to socialize. And they're just repeating the same thing but mixing and matching
read
words.
the other fucking comments. If there's a comment that has 70 likes that says the exact same thing you're about to type, how about just don't?
Or just like it. Says the bloke with the shittest hairstyle ever. You'd fit in right in Footscray. Well, maybe they've seen you in Footscray.
Fair. They probably have. I mean, I do live in Footscray, which means the people who got insulted about what you said about Footscray might see me in Footscray. I might get fucking attacked for what you said.
I didn't say anything bad. I said Footscray has 3 train stations. That's fact.
You insulted them. You were like, that's too many stations.
Someone said, well, Sandringham...
Imagine taking that as an insult too.
Someone commented, well, Sandringham has 3 Brightons. I don't think you've got a point here. And I was like, that's not the point. I was just stating it. And that's just for context in the clip. I tried to protect you by putting context at the start, but I didn't know it was going to blow up with hate. I thought it was going to blow up with funny.
I could have told you before you posted that clip exactly how it was going to go.
Look, if you look at all the TikToks that we posted before, I didn't think this one was going to go well.
No, but the reason it went well...
I may have used Western Suburbs Melbourne as a hashtag.
Oh, mate.
I didn't
Don't tell me you didn't know what was going to happen.
I honestly did not know. I honestly, and this is a pinky promise, did not think you were going to get hated on.
I don't care about the hate. I find it funny.
Tell me you're a privileged cis white man without telling me you're a privileged cis white man. Can you guys in the audience see a fucking trend? These people do not know how to interact.
So, quite literally, I'm fucking broke as fuck.
That's not privileged.
And I'm not cis. So, get fucked.
He's scared of diversity. I don't think podcasting is for this bloke. That's you, mate. I'm cool to podcast, but you're not cool. Tell me you hate immigrants without telling me you hate immigrants. Yay, make fun of the large immigrant areas.
I literally live in Footscray, and one of my favorite things about Footscray is how multicultural it is. The western suburbs, yeah, the multicultural aspect is great. I'm not shit talking the people. It's just a shit place.
Well, these people know. But the location. We shit talked the actual location, and more so that you had to take forever to get there anyway.
Yeah.
And you know what? I experienced it. Where the fuck did I go? I had to go to like the end of like the Glen Waverley line. I was like, this was so quick.
I mean, I can't really blame people for getting defensive about the place that they live. I guess people just don't like something so close to them getting attacked. I just have lived in so many different places that I'm not personally attached to enough to defend it. I would shit talk basically everywhere I've lived because pretty much everywhere is a shithole in some way.
And because you didn't even go into details about why it was a shithole. But if you
and that was my mistake, Zach, because people assumed that I was hating on immigrants immediately.
But why do people have to assume? Okay, we probably shouldn't.
Because we're two white guys with a podcast.
Oh. No, we're about to hit 40 minutes. We want to put off the next two things again for another 2 weeks.
Oh, what a way to end the podcast.
I reckon we can put on a few more things, but just skip those two because those two have to go together.
Yeah, all right. Let's move on.
How long's KFC going to take you?
Sorry, I just snorted again. Can you cut that one out too?
Sure. How long's KFC going to take you?
It can be brief,
Yeah, okay.
or it can not be brief.
Well, do you want to bring it up next week? Because I reckon my next two things will fill us up for the rest of the
Yeah,
year.
sure.
Perfect. I want to hypothetically play this, Rita.
You bought 10 slabs of beer.
You bought a giant cardboard cutout of
Rita.
Bendigo.
Bank account balance is $0 and 0 cents.
Oh, no.
Zac.
What did you buy this week?
Well, let's find out,
Rita.
because this is
Zac's.
bad financial decisions.
Wow.
Well, so usually those openers, they have a bit of a sting to us, but I recorded that while you were around.
Yeah. Also, the long openers where we just have to sit here. We've brought this up many times.
We need something to do during the openers. And we don't. We could make video versions for every opener, but that's a bit. It's a lot. Anyways, I wanted to talk about a possible bad financial decision I made, Rita. So, I this year noticed I kind of did a bit of a rehaul of how many clothes I had, and I noticed that I needed to replace my underwear. How much underwear is a normal amount of underwear to own?
Way more than what I own.
Well, how many?
I don't own enough.
See, that's what I thought. I
own like a week's worth.
see. That's the thing. It's okay, when
I reckon 2 weeks worth.
really
I do.
see when I lived with my parents, we were going through like a wash every 2 to 3 days. So I only needed like a week's worth at max of underwear. When you live by yourself, or like I'm only doing a wash once a week at a minimum.
The thing is, you don't want your underwear to run out before you're like you want to wash your clothes. So if you've got a lot of clothes to wear, then you want to have a lot of underwear. I guess it depends how many clothes you own.
Yeah, I guess. But you can only wear so many clothes so often. Anyways, I bought a load of underwear during one of the lockdowns earlier on this year. And then, so it brought me to a total of 11 pairs of underwear. Almost 2 weeks worth.
Yeah.
But I found that I was just running out of them too often.
How?
Well, because...
Is too often every 11 days?
yes. Well, guys, my problem was, in lockdown, I wasn't going anywhere. I wasn't, like, getting my clothes dirty. And I felt like I could wear a lot of clothing twice or maybe 3 times in a row before it even started to smell.
Yeah.
And I wasn't going anywhere, so that was fine. But I was going through my underwear like mad, and I wasn't doing the same for my socks because I wasn't going out that often. So I may or may not have bought an extra 6 pairs of underwear, and now I've got like 18 pairs of
Why
underwear.
would you buy another 6 and not another 3? Just bring it up to 14.
My problem was, I want to give the website a plug, but I wanted, if you buy 4, you get a discount. And there's no point in, and I thought, if I'm buying 4, then I've practically bought myself a free pair of underwear. So I'll go 5. And I was like, well, now I've got an uneven amount, so I bought 6.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my question to you is 18 pairs of underwear too much? Is 18 pairs of underwear a bad financial decision?
I mean, I don't think it's a bad financial decision because they're going to come in handy eventually. But yeah, it is too much. I think it's too much. But that's coming from me. Like, I would way rather be in your position of having too much than be in my position of having too little.
That's what I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to just having a plethora of underwear.
I want to be at that point soon. I want to go on a mad underwear shop. But the thing that stopped me is that I don't want to go and buy underwear in a store. I want to... Because the online underwear game has smashed the in-store underwear game out of the fucking...
And who would have thought that the online retail... It's like...
Even
it's been coming for a while.
Designer underwear is now shit compared to the stuff you can buy online.
Because the stuff you can buy online, they're saving like retail space costs. And they're taking that money into making a better product.
The material that they use, I don't know how it's taking the designer brands so long to catch up. It's fucking Tommy Hilfiger still makes cotton underwear, and these brands like, once you wear a pair of like this like breathable fucking
Bamboo?
shit, I don't know.
I've got bamboo and it's fucking nice.
But like, yeah, I think there's a few different types, but it is so much better than cotton. Like, you never want to wear a...
And that was kind of my selling point. I was like, well, I'm so comfortable. I'm not buying Bonds again. I'm gonna buy this brand again. And they were doing a Black Friday sale, so I was even getting even more discounts.
And like cotton underwear, I don't know if you've ever had an issue in the past with chafing.
Not too much, but a bit.
But like literally you don't... Like, I found you don't chafe.
Exactly.
Ever.
And the brand
'Cause
I've
you
got
can-
Lycra panels, so I don't chafe at all. This is really graphic for female viewers. I'm so
Because
sorry.
it's just so much more breathable.
It's great.
It's like on a hot day. Like on a hot day, it's still like not ideal, but it feels a lot fucking nicer.
You can tell the difference between that they're just comfortable.
Yeah.
Anyways, so yeah, that was my quick bad financial decisions. I just wanted to take it by you if that was a bad financial decision or not.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
Perfect. Okay, last but not least, the show got contacted this week. I got contacted, sorry, by, where is it? Oh no, it's the podcast account. Do you reckon I can name them?
Yeah. What did they say you can't? Did they say you can? Maybe you should ask them.
It doesn't say. Xena, thanks for getting contacted.
Oh,
with the
Xena
show.
won't care.
Oh, I told you.
Forgot I forgot in a very short span of time who you were talking about.
Hello, Zac and Rita. Mainly Zac from the Zac and Rita podcast. Because
Now, this also relates to the train episode,
yes,
doesn't it?
May or may not. I'm writing today to tell you about how wrong you are about the rankings of every single train line, mainly Pakenham and Cranbourne. As someone who used to travel on that line every day for years, I would like to advocate that both those lines should be dead second last after Werribee. And this is going to piss some people off. In brackets, fuck Werribee.
Yes! Clip that shit.
That was the message. No. I feel like we've done our bit of...
I feel like you've got to like edit together our responses, like clip something together.
Yeah, I'm happy to clip... Yep, sure.
But then we're gonna get more hate, and we're not responding to the second lot of hate.
Sure. Unless the second order hate is really entertaining.
Okay.
Both those lines are absolutely crowded at all times, and it's full of school kids all throughout the day. Dandenong Station alone should qualify for second last place. Once again, fuck Werribee. Dandenong Station is like flipping a coin. You get a 50-50 chance of dying when you get on or off there. So that's just a bit of feedback. We did ask you guys for your train feedback. We got train feedback.
So as you can see,
It seems to be unanimous. People not...
we weren't completely right, but we were right about Werribee.
You. I never just...
Zach doesn't have an opinion on Werribee. Okay.
I, guys, as a privileged white man, would like to redact all opinions on the western suburbs.
It's got nothing to do with privilege. It's just a shit place.
Okay, privilege aside, I've never lived in the western suburbs.
Yeah. And therefore, it would not make sense for you to have an opinion on it.
I have lived and gone... Not lived, but I've gone to school in Geelong. Geelong, fucking shithole. Suck that, Geelong.
Yeah, no. Yeah, and I've lived there multiple times, which is why I know how much I hate the immigrants there.
Anything, that should have been bleeped. That was a joke, people. Fucking get on it. 48 minutes in, we've done a good job.
Yeah, sick one.
What do you say at the end of an episode?
See you next week!
Oh shit, I don't have the fucking button ready, cunt. Say it again.
See you next week. Thanks for listening.
You can keep in touch with the show anytime by emailing us, zacandritashow@gmail.com.
You can find us, Zac and Rita Show, on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok.
All right, see you guys next week.